Tenemos a los Shuar en el Perú, denominados Wampis, que es incorrecta la denominación. Ellos están poco organizados, tienen una lucha reciente de defensa del territorio.
So, for example, we are in contact and we work together with the Shuar people in Peru, which are commonly denominated One Piece, and this is a wrong denomination. They are basically their social organization or their organization is not very good, and their struggle for recognition of their rights has just begun in the recent years.
Ellos están relativamente aislados, solo han logrado sostener sus costumbres, formas de subsistencia y un poco de organización sociopolítica tradicional.
They are very isolated, and this has helped them to support their traditional costumes, their subsistence and their ways of subsistence, and also their traditional ways of organizing socially and politically.
Las presiones y amenazas pues le han creado la necesidad o el sentido de protegerse.
The different pressures and the threats have influence and have made that they develop this idea of protection.
Nosotros, el pueblo Shuar Arutam, ahora es un aliado, y la UICN pues apoyó a la formación en derechos a los dirigentes Wampis.
So now we are the Shuar Arutam people is an ally of the One Piece, and the IUCN has strengthened this capacity building in the topic of rights, and also it has worked with the One Piece.
Hoy se han dado cuenta de sus derechos y han comenzado a discutir sobre la importancia de su vida, su historia, su situación actual y la relación con el Estado, además de los problemas que les vienen por los proyectos extractivistas.
So now they know about their rights, and they discuss openly about the importance of their own means and ways of life, about their history, about their culture, about their actual situation, about their relationship with the state, and also about the problems that are coming in the nearby future, mainly regarding extractive industries.
Realmente ellos han manifestado su necesidad de capacitarse mejor, porque antes solamente han tenido una necesidad inconsciente de vivir dentro del territorio.
Okay, so now they have expressed that they have a need for better capacities and for strengthening capacities, because before they only had some type of unconscious idea or perspective that they had to defend themselves within the territories.
También tenemos otros pueblos pequeños o minorías en el Ecuador, como son los Zápara, los Sionas, los Secoya y otras más.
So we have other indigenous peoples in Ecuador that are also minorities. For example, the Suapas, the sáparas, and the sionas, and the sequoias.
Los zápara casi se extinguieron por enfermedad y la expansión de otros pueblos le dejaron muy pequeños.
The sáparas were almost disappeared because of sicknesses and also because the expansion of other peoples.
Los sionas en el nororiente ecuatoriano enfrentaron la presión de los caucheros y petroleros, por eso igual son muy pocos los que quedaron y además de fragmentados en diferentes lugares.
Regarding the sionas, they are located in the northeast of the country, and they were also very affected. Right now they are very few and they are very fragmented, mainly because of external pressures from oil industry and from couch industry.
Con nuestro apoyo, ellos se dieron cuenta que el Estado no reconoce sus derechos e igualmente han iniciado a analizar su propia forma de vida y la búsqueda de cómo realmente hacer ejercicio de sus derechos.
So with our support, they have understood that the state is not recognizing their rights, and they have started a process to analyze how can they actually defend their ways of life, but also how can they exercise and implement their rights.
Aún estos pueblos pequeños deben entender que son débiles y necesitan fortalecerse para realmente hacer su ejercicio real de derechos.
These peoples, they have to understand that they are still small and that they are still weak, and that they have to strengthen those capacities in order for them to exercise their own rights.
En Ecuador, la Constitución nos permite el sistema de gobiernos autónomos, pero estos pueblos indígenas recién se han dado cuenta que tienen que implementar ese proceso de gobierno propio.
In Ecuador, the political constitution allows for this system of autonomous government, but these indigenous peoples that we were just talking about have just understood that they can benefit from such an institution.
Finalmente quiero compartirles una conclusión de todo un proceso que el tema de derechos necesita ser mucho más fortalecida en los pueblos pequeños, además de trabajar con apoyo a estas organizaciones, porque ellos no lo han recibido hasta el momento. Ha sido un buen aporte de la UICN, un pequeño aporte del cual muchos nos han agradecido, y personalmente he sido agradecido a nombre de UICN. Muchas gracias.
So finally, sorry. Does everybody speak Spanish or no?
Now we tell.
Yeah?
We're testing you.
Okay, yeah, to see if I'm a good translator. No, finally he wants to conclude that that in this process about rights, there is a need for strengthening capacities, mainly of these small minority peoples, right? And that we have to keep on working with them hand in hand with the different organizations that are in the territory, and that it has been a very good contribution from his community, but also from IUCN, and that he has been personally thanked from different minorities, because this work is very important. So yeah, once again, I think we have to give a big hand of applause for Raúl.
So thank you so much for your presentation, and thanks Juan Carlos for translating. I know it's not easy to do this synchronously. So do we have any questions that you want to ask?
Yes, since this is selfish,
Can you hear, or do you need the
microphone?
Yes.
this is a selfish question because of the next panel. I want to prepare for the following legal aspects of ecosystem services and their impact on people. So my question is,
Raúl, how does your group does your group get money for any ecosystem services that you provide?
I don't know how else to phrase that. Maybe you can think of a better way.
You mean payments for ecosystem services?
Yeah,
So
from anyone.
I think the question, does your group benefit from any payments for ecosystem services schemes and receive money for compensation for protecting natural resources? Actually, I think it would also be good if you could share your views after this question about what you think as also from an indigenous community, and because you were talking about ecosystem services earlier, and I was thinking also it would be really interesting to have you this afternoon in that session. So if you have any comments, feel free to. But Juan Carlos, can you translate?
Yep.
The question?
El pueblo Shuar Arutam, los primeros 5 años ha trabajado en la parte organizativa, en fortalecimiento de capacidades, en temas de derechos y además de algunos temas técnicos para armar un escenario para prepararse a lo que luego pues esperado recibir.
Okay, so the Shuar Arutams, they have been working the first 5 years in the local organization in strengthening capacities, especially in the topic of rights, as well as in some technical topics, with a view of putting together in a future scenario what they expect to receive later.
Ese escenario nos ha permitido nosotros armar proyectos antes de este gobierno que tenemos hoy, un proyecto denominado Fondos por Conservación.
So this has allowed us to develop a project, or some projects, before the government that we actually have now. And there is a specific project called the Funds for Conservation.
Esta iniciativa fue muy discutida a nivel nacional y en el año 2008 el gobierno nacional tomó como un ejemplo para implementar el programa Sociobosque.
this initiative was discussed at the national level, and in 2008 the national government took it as one of the best practices and an example to implement the national strategy called Sociobosque.
Este programa Sociobosque ahora está aportando un fondo de $850,000 por año a la organización.
So this project, Sociobosque, which means partnering within forests, it's it's funding the organization with an amount of $850,000 per year.
Este recurso está administrada por los propios Shuar, porque tenemos un plan de vida como base elemental de la organización, al cual hay que implementar con este financiamiento.
So these resources are being managed by the Shuars because they have what they call Plan de Vida, which is the plan of life, and which is the basis of the organization, and also the resources are used for its implementation of this Plan de Vida.
Thank you. Okay. So, any other questions or comments or yes, Patty, and then.
Muchísimas gracias, señor Raúl. No, el punto en contra tal vez no lo escuché bien, pero ¿en qué forma está documentado su plan de vida? O sea, es oral. ¿En qué forma está documentado su plan de vida? ¿No? ¿O es oral? O sea, o es por escrito. ¿Cómo lo han desarrollado? ¿Cuál es su contenido? ¿De qué forma está?
Maybe Patty, if you can also repeat the question in English for the
Sorry. You're not going to translate for me,
I just do from Spanish.
Okay, got it. Okay. No, all I was asked is that maybe I missed it, but I was interested in knowing how the life plan has been documented, or whether it's still verbal, whether it's an oral tradition, and exactly what are its contents. Because we saw something about the biocultural protocols, and it would be interesting to know how the Shuar developed the plan and what it contains.
El plan de vida es un texto escrito basada, recogida de la expresión oral de nuestros mayores que manejan la sabiduría ancestral.
So the Plan de Vida is a written text that it's based on the oral traditions, mainly from our elders, that they have gathered and they have the wisdom of our culture.
Nosotros respetamos a nuestros mayores porque ellos son los que están dotados de la sabiduría, y la sabiduría para nosotros es sagrado, y eso permite que la naturaleza pues sea mucho más agradable, y que la pérdida de esa sabiduría crearía grandes destrozos a la naturaleza, y es por donde hoy estamos caminando.
So we respect a lot our elders because they are the ones that have this wisdom, and for us their wisdom is almost sacred, and this wisdom, it allows, or the implementation of this wisdom allows for nature to be saved and to be conserved, and for the environment to be a nice environment and a pleasant environment. Whereas if we lose this wisdom, we're gonna go into a path of destruction, and we have seen that there's some threats that we might be going into this direction.
Entonces, ¿por qué necesitamos dinero? Puede ser una pregunta.
So one question might be, why do we need some money?
Hoy en día, el mundo moderno, ¿no?, en este proceso de globalización, igual nos está presionando fuertemente, y nosotros tenemos que sostener nuestro modo de vida y según ese modo de vida gobernar y enfrentar a un cambio grave, grande que presiona el mundo. Para ello necesitamos nosotros fortalecer todo un estudio propio a través de investigaciones, a través de textos. Eso es parte de nuestro plan de vida.
So today the modern world it's in a process of changes, in a process of globalization, and that